day 3 of industrial action. How do you feel? Are you surprised that people are standing firm?
No, I'm not surprised that people are standing firm. I believe that people stand on principle and they're fighting for what they believe in.
Now, you're a young man, so I don't think you recall the riots and the industrial actions of the early 80s. How do you feel now that you are a part of history?
Well, living it is a different thing than watching it. So I haven't had the full grasp of what's happening. I know I'm in a leadership position and I'm required to lead in this time, and that's what I'm doing.
Do you feel that your shoulders are weighted?
It's always pressure on your back when you're a leader, but obviously you have to stand behind your principles and come to the table and deliver on behalf of your membership.
Now, your membership is standing very firm. How long do you think, or how long do you hope that this will last?
I hope that we can reach a resolution today. But if we can't reach a resolution today, we'll wait here until we get one.
Believe in justice. Justice does not have a color. Justice does not have a socio-economic background. I believe justice is standing for what is right.
Yes. What an empowering speech you gave just now, and impromptu, but where did it come from?
I think when you come down to this field and you're at cabinet grounds and you see every walk of life in Bermuda, you reflect on the blessings that we have to live in Bermuda. And sometimes to whom much is given, much is required.
When my unborn grandson comes to me and your unborn grandchild comes to you, and he says on January 28th, 2015, when history was being made, where did you stand?
Yes.
You can look at him in the eye and you tell him when it was sunny, I stood. When it was rain, I stood. When it was going against me, I stood.
And so I can't sit back and watch my people who paid for my school fees, who allowed me to go so far and not say anything. I think it's important that some of us that have been blessed with certain things, we have to speak for those people that can't speak. Sometimes you have a man that's in a corporate job. He is so scared of what will happen to him that he can't talk and he doesn't speak. And so I believe that this is justice. I believe that sometimes you have to stand up even when you don't want to. Today was one of those days. With so many blessings of living in Bermuda, I had to speak. And I believe it's my responsibility. And I didn't want to speak. I didn't want to get up. I wanted to be one of the guys standing on the side. But to whom much is given, much is required.
Me, why don't I go? It could be easier to live in the United States. They asked me, you have the qualifications, why don't you go and live in England? I don't move because this is my home!
Are you surprised that we have reached this point in 2015?
I actually understand what's going on with the budget. I understand the position that the Minister of Finance puts himself in. Nobody doesn't envy what he's doing. I think the challenge is that this body of people do not believe it shouldn't go in a specific way. In other words, they believe that the furlough is not the right way to balance the budget. So the people here are not saying, we don't agree with what you have to do. They're saying, can we look at several different options? And if that doesn't work, can we look at some other things? And so if you have a family of 2 civil servants, that's a significant cut in pay. There's no training. So if you're a civil servant, they've cut the training out of the budgets. You're not going to get trained. The majority of the people here happen to be people of color. They happen to be the people that are every day struggling to make ends meet. We're talking about all elements of the BPSU. Yes, we're talking about all of the unions together, teachers that are struggling. So if I want to live in a country that's balanced, where people are able to have a modicum of peace, Bermudans that are paying and struggling to pay their mortgage, I understand the suffering. Why? Because I come from a working family. And so this is not about money. This is about having a quality of life. We watch the people in the boats. We watch the people live up on the hill. A Bermudian does not get to enjoy in that a lot of Bermudians. And so when you say you're going to take the furlough days from them, a lot of people don't understand how that affects the average family. I have not seen people angry today. I have not seen people calling for violence. I've seen people that love Bermuda. So sometimes, Carla, people think that if you disagree with something, you don't love your country. These people love Bermuda. They simply want a better way of life in Bermuda.
We must not be bought and we must not be sold.
Yeah!
But with that comes great responsibility.
Yes.
When it's time for work, we have to be on time. When it's time to give 110, we have to give 110. This is our country. We cannot let it implode.
So when people, I've been reading the vitriol in the blogs, when people are talking about the lazy Bermudians, that's just not true. I watch when people in Israel march. I watch when they march in Egypt. I watch when they march all over the world for justice. This is a people's campaign for people marching for justice. We have to be on the right side of history. I don't look down on any politician because they're doing their responsibility. But guess what? The people, when they lose their voice, that's when democracy has failed. What we have seen today is the best of democracy. This is what makes us different from the Soviet bloc. This is what makes us different from countries. We, the people, have said we are unhappy with something and we have voiced it. That's the beauty of living in our country. So many years, the Bermudian was scared. I've seen people just terrified. There are people that are not here, not because they don't want to be support, because they have 25 years of embedded fear. What we have to do, our responsibility is to tell people it's okay to be mad. You don't have to burn up, you don't have to loot, it's okay to be angry. And that's what you're seeing today. That's what I'm excited about. Yes, I'm not excited that everybody's off work. I'm excited that for once, we're not just calling the talk shows. For once, we're not sitting around in the barbershop talking. The Bermudians have said, and guess what? People have lost 3 days of their salary. Yes? Do you know what it will mean for a mom, a single mother, to lose 3 days of pay? Everybody knows what the stakes are. And so we have to work together to make a solution. Should they find a solution? I think we have to push them to. Because a person losing a week's pay is significant. The bank doesn't care about this. They want their mortgage at the end of the month. So it is our responsibility to make sure it gets resolved really quickly. But you also have to hold our politicians, both PLP and OBA, accountable. And that's what this is.